As we enter a whole new day in trade, let's take a look at the global cues from last night. Now, you all know the chaos that happened in Washington yesterday. Trump supporters stormed the Capitol in an attempt to create disruption when the electoral votes were being counted. Of course, all that was handled, contained. It seems that Joe Biden is going to be the winner, but let's see. In the meanwhile, equity markets started reacting already. The Dow climbed more than 400 points, or 1.4%, to close at a record high. The S&P rose 0.57%, hitting an all-time intraday high as well. So both your benchmarks, Dow and S&P, hit intraday highs. Of course, they cooled off slightly toward the end of the day. The Nasdaq, unfortunately, was the only underperformer. It was down 0.6%, which is quite a large fall for the Nasdaq. And then, of course, this was led by the FANG stocks. So Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Alphabet, Netflix, Google. These stocks were under pressure. Now, the small cap index, very interesting, the Russel 2000, that jumped nearly 4% as well to 2050 levels. So basically Dow, S&P, Russell all surging, Nasdaq the only area where there was some issue. The 10-year Treasury yield, that also broke above 1% for the first time since yesterday. We saw a lot of reactions to that. We saw gold tapering off slightly. We'll talk more about that later. But amid all this chaos, cryptocurrency Bitcoin also continued to rise, topping 36,000 now, taking its gains to nearly 300% this year. Currently, as we speak this morning, Dow, Nasdaq and S&P futures are pretty much flat. Dow futures are slightly positive. Now, yesterday, European stocks closed higher. The Pan-European Stock 600 closed up by around 1.6%. Banks rallied 5.7% to lead the gains, and most sectors and major bourses ended the day in positive territory. So that's likely to continue today in Europe as well. Banking stocks in Europe are also benefiting for the same macro indicators that are benefiting the US market. Now, Asia this morning, very interesting. And this is obviously what's going to set us up here in India for trade. The Kospi is up 1.6% at 3,015. The Nikkei is up 1.36% at 27,422. It's gaining 366 points. The Topix has gained 1.24%. Stocks in Australia are higher. The S&P ASX 200 is up 1.3%. So Asian stocks are really rallying this morning, and that just means that we here might be in for the same. Oil prices extended their gains yesterday. They're now at their highest level since Feb. Of course, you have the voluntary production cut from Saudi Arabia, and you have US crude inventories falling. Brent is almost at 54, just 8 cents shy at 53.92. Gained as much as 32 cents yesterday. And then US WTI gained 70 cents yesterday, or a whole 1.5%, to settle at $50.63 per barrel. Gold on the flip side fell more than 2%. US Treasury yields surged. Banking stocks rallied. Of course, a lot of this has to do with what's happening currently in the US Senate. Spot gold was down 2.2% at $1,907 per ounce, and US gold futures dropped 2.3% to $1,909 per ounce. As of now, the SGX Nifty is showing us that we're going to be bracing for a positive day in trade. Let's see how we wind up.